You have seen what happens with ETS week, and we have seen what happens with those people born in an ETS week. We have seen what happens on the Gregorian calendar blip in the year 2100 and 2200 and 2300. So now you have a situation where we have a 4-day week. You work 4 out of every 6 days, which is 66.67% of the time. Before you worked 5 out of 7, which is 71.43% of the time. So in fact, you're working less. Now, you're either going to have to accept a smaller paycheck. It'll be about 4.5% 4.8% paycheck loss, or maybe your employer, because you're going to work so much more efficiently, will keep you at the same pay. I have my doubts about that one. But it does mean that if you are working that amount less, somebody has to run the shop. So therefore, there will be more employment, because people will have to be hired in order to run the shop on the days that you're not working. So this will be an increase in employment. All right, so now you have the 4-day week and 2 days on the weekend. So you have 6 days. You have all months looking the same. So I see a huge amount of improvement here. Nicer work week, 4 days, 2 days off, 4 days, 2 days off. You will still have to go through and work out some sort of holiday schedule. You could say here in Canada, for instance, schools start on the day after Labor Day. Well, Labor Day will always be the Sunday and Monday, September 1st and 2nd. So schools will always start on September 3rd. And that sort of thing happens as well. You can have some sort of steadiness to what the year is going to look like. What about calendar makers? If every year is going to look the same, why bring up a new calendar? Well, in fact, there is one minor little problem we haven't looked at. What about the phases of the moon? What about the equinoxes? What about all of those things that are based on lunar things? Well, right now, it fits in fairly well with the present system. Under the Loutetian calendar, the equinoxes are gradually going to be slipping from day to day for the first 7 years, and then on the 8th year, they come right back into alignment with the other present calendar. So after every 8 years, the two calendars align exactly. And in fact, when I publish my Loutetian calendar, you will see that there's going to be years of conversion, and you'll be able to see which year under the Loutetian calendar equals which year under the present Gregorian calendar. But it does mean that the calendar makers will still have a really good job, because each year, although the months look the same, you're going to have to be putting in when all of the religious holidays are, when the phases of the moon are, what happens with the equinoxes and the solstices and so on, and they're going to be different every year. Plus you've got all of those new pretty pictures you want to put up, and that's going to be really important. So calendar makers, you're not going to lose a job here. Okay? As a matter of fact, a new calendar every year is going to be really important to a lot of people. So that's going to help you as well. Yay, more employment. Okay? So I hope that's answered the question from the lady in Aneroid, Saskatchewan, and the fellow in Perth. And if there is any more questions, please feel free to comment on this. And until then, and until other people make decisions, get stuck under your present 7-day week, 5-day work week, but realize that with only a little bit of effort, we could change to the Loutetian calendar, and everybody would have more employment, a nicer work week, the world will be happier, the birds will be singing, and life will be good. Signing off.